Greetings, viewers. Night here. So remember that sci-fi guy I did a video on? Yeah, he didn't care for the videos Jonah and me made on him. He decided to claim on Twitter that the CC was roasting him, which escalated into a huge shitstorm. The morning after, some guy named Simply Isaac tweeted at me saying the slideshow community is the worst community out there. I'm guessing he thought this would trigger me, but it really just made me laugh at how random it was. Then he said he was going to do a video on me. If this had been Evan, JR, Vita, or anyone else who actually knows how to hit me, I'd have been a bit nervous. But considering that this was a random nobody, I just left it off and waited. Just when I had all but forgotten about this guy, he tweeted the video at me last Friday night. Considering that it was late and I had other things to focus on, I really didn't pay that much attention to it on my first viewing. However, now that I look over it, I do have a few issues with the video. So let's get into it, shall we? So apparently he and Saya are obsessed with Can for whatever reason. Now going by these screenshots, all I can get is that they're jealous that members of that channel have more subs than them. Now I get it, you're likely to get some attention by commentating on a channel that's bigger than you. But like I said in these comments, not that many people care about Can due to its inactivity. This is something that people in the CC have noticed about Saya and Isaac. The two just want to seem to focus on Can, and pretend that people in that group are the biggest perpetrators of the grievances they find with people using anime avatars. Or as Doodle has dubbed it, Turkey Tom Syndrome. And this is where you focus on the avatar someone uses, rather than the points that are being made. I'm sure if Doodle ever gets around to Avatar Gate, she'll correct me if I misinterpreted that.
Irrelevant. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the slideshow commentary community.
Slideshow commentary community?
A subdivision of the commentary community that uses screenshots from video games, movies, television, and anime as avatars. Now there's a very obvious problem with this. An avatar is defined as a visual representation of yourself. On the internet, the avatar is synonymous with yourself. When you use a picture from an anime or use a My Little Pony character as your avatar, it doesn't say anything about yourself. It just shows, hey, I like this show. Not only does it not represent the creator in a unique way, but it is incredibly lazy.
And yeah, I could say using the gameplay footage you have here is lazy, but that's subjective. And I'm really not paying attention to your visuals, but to your points. Yes, Isaac, that is a definition for an avatar. Another is an icon or figure representing someone in video games or online forums. By that definition, Mario is an avatar. So is Cuphead. We're meant to be playing as these characters in their respective games.
If someone spends the time to create their own unique avatar, it's an objectively better avatar than someone who screenshots an anime, because they actually spend the time to give a unique avatar to their channel, representing their content in a better way. Now, I'd like to take this moment to talk about the members of the slideshow commentary community, mostly Can members. Although there are exceptions to the rule, Can is the biggest perpetrator of the slideshow commentary community. I mean, just look how arrogantly Night Today talks about the slideshow commentary community, like it's above criticism and some great format.
Are aware that people in the slideshow commentary community often use characters from anime, cartoons, video games, books, and movies to represent themselves in videos, right?
I today propose a rule of the commentary community. If you do not have an avatar, do not use an avatar.
You claim I'm arrogant, but that could be thrown at you and your friend Sai with these comments. You guys seem really determined to dismiss any criticism regarding your videos. No, I never said the slideshow community is above criticism. Only an absolute retard would think that. I hit 2 people who were part of it before I hit your friend Sai, after all. And last year I did 2 videos on Joe Smith and 1 on Lunatic. So this community is far from jerking each other off. Speaking of Sai, he has a nice little cameo in your video. Let's hear what Cringeface has to say, shall we?
Now, the funniest thing about Night Today is that if you go on his channel right now, the 4th video that comes up is called How Not to Commentate. Now, I find that quite funny because he blames me for being subjective in my video about the art.
And seem to think that just because you personally don't like them, that makes them objectively bad. Wow, you're bad at refuting me, Sai. Yes, your video is arguably subjective. But you went about it in an objective manner, with lazy points you never expounded upon. All you did was say, I don't like how these avatars look, so they're bad. I even said that in the scene your friend played. How Not to Commentate was me pointing out why Midnight Vampire and Minecrafter were crappy commentators, and telling my audience not to replicate their behavior. Of course, when I asked you and Isaac if either of you had actually watched the video, you guys avoided the question. The video ends here, so I'll go on to my final thoughts. Everything about this video just has an air of salt to it, and all because I responded to criticisms I felt were flawed, which Isaac doesn't show in his video. He also speaks in absolutes like Sai did, that people shouldn't use anime avatars, that the only avatar they should use is an OC avatar. Never mind that not everyone can afford to commission an artist, or is an artist themselves. There's also the feeling that the only reason you guys keep talking about Cam is because the people on that channel have more subs than either of you, which is a lame reason to do a video on anyone. I can honestly see this obsession you guys have with Cam becoming a meme, and I don't mean the fun kind of meme like Manga Cowan's supposed hatred of MatPat. I mean the cringy kind of meme that you just want to go away. Lastly, this feels like nothing more than an attempt to defend Sai from criticism after me and Jonah covered his video. Going by this comment here, you wanted to talk with us on a podcast. I can tell you right now that that's not happening for a few reasons. This offer was made a week after the shitstorm on Twitter. If you guys really did want to debate things, you'd have done it after that shitstorm. And two, going by the comments left on your video, you apparently just want to treat your opinion as objective fact. What is the point of trying to debate someone who'll just go, lol, you're wrong? I also asked 3 former members of the CC if they wanted to come onto the podcast to give an unbiased perspective. One said this whole thing was autistic, and I agree. Another considers both of your videos ridiculously petty, and the third laughed and called you guys leafy clones. I said on Twitter that this whole thing feels retarded, and that's a sentiment I'm standing behind. This whole thing became a drama because Sai said he didn't like certain people's avatars, and failed to recognize that just because it was his subjective opinion doesn't mean that it can't be criticized. I'm not going to be talking about Avatar Gate anymore unless he keeps going, because, after all, this is the community that thinks Midnight Vampire is still worth talking about after 2 weeks. Anyways, this is Night Eye Dies, saying thanks for listening, and please share your thoughts with me.